20,000 years ago, a broken leg was never just painful. It could erase your future before the sun went down. Our fictional hunter is called Aaron, young, fast, and overconfident. This morning, he believes his strongest weapon is his own body. By nightfall, that body may become an impossible burden. There are no hospitals, x-rays, painkillers, or emergency vehicles. There is only knowledge, luck, and the patience of others. And the worst danger may not be the broken bone. It may be what happens when your group must choose. Do they carry you home or keep moving without you? Arn follows fresh hoofprints across a cold limestone valley. His hunting party needs meat before the next hard freeze. Every empty hand means less food for children and elders. Then Arn spots movement beyond a narrow rocky ledge. He signals silently, certain the animal cannot escape him. One careful step becomes one step too far. Loose gravel rolls beneath his heel like tiny marbles. His balance vanishes before his mind understands the danger. Arn falls, strikes the slope, and tumbles behind the rocks. The valley answers with one short, unforgettable cracking sound. For several seconds, Arn feels almost nothing at all. Then pain floods upward, hot, sharp, and completely overwhelming. His lower leg bends where no leg should ever bend. He tries to rise, but the world flashes white. Now the hunt is over and survival has begun. His companions hear him, but reaching him costs precious time. The wounded animal is escaping, and daylight is already fading. One hunter watches the tracks, another watches Arn's face. Their decision takes seconds, but changes every life involved. They abandon the hunt and climb down toward him. First, they stop Arn from twisting the injured leg. Movement could worsen the damage and tear hidden tissue. They check for heavy bleeding, but find none outside. Arn shakes violently, partly from cold, partly from shock. His friends wrap him in fur before moving anything. They speak calmly because panic spreads faster than fire. One companion grips Arn's hand during every painful adjustment. Another studies the slope and plans the safest route home. Nobody knows whether Arn will survive the journey. 2 straight branches are cut from a nearby young tree. Soft moss and folded hide become rough protective padding. The branches are placed beside the leg, not directly underneath. Leather strips hold everything still without crushing the swollen limb. This splint is a cautious reconstruction, not proven certainty. But immobilization would give Arn his best possible chance. The group builds a carrier from poles and animal hide. 4 people lift together while Arn bites down on leather. Every uneven step sends pain through his entire body. And every pause steals warmth from the approaching evening. A shadow moves across the ridge above the exhausted group. Predators notice weakness, blood scent, and people moving slowly. The hunters raise spears while continuing toward the distant shelter. Arn cannot fight, run, or even hide by himself. For the fuckers, his survival belongs completely to others. They reach the cave just as freezing rain begins. Inside, firelight reveals swelling spreading around the fracture. The healer does not possess magic, only experience and observation. She checks warmth, color, feeling, and movement in Arn's foot. The bindings are loosened slightly as the swelling increases. More moss is added to prevent rubbing and skin damage. Arn receives warm broth, water, and tiny pieces of meat. Pain steals his appetite, but healing demands enormous energy. That first night feels longer than an entire winter. Every time Arn sleeps, sudden pain drags him awake. He fears the bone will pierce through his skin. He fears fever, infection, predators, and becoming useless forever. But his deepest fear is visible in everyone's silence. How long can the group afford to protect him? Morning brings no miracle, only swelling and exhaustion. The hunters leave again, now carrying 1 fewer spear. Someone must remain behind to keep Arn warm and hydrated. That choice reduces the food gathered for everyone else. Days pass measured by firewood, meals, and waves of pain. The leg stays elevated on bundled hides whenever possible. The splint is checked repeatedly as swelling slowly changes. Too loose and the bones move, too tight, circulation suffered. Nobody can see whether the broken ends are properly aligned. Arn's body begins building a temporary bridge around the fracture. Soft repair tissue gradually becomes a harder protective callus. This process takes weeks, not a dramatic single night. Meanwhile, Arn loses muscle because he cannot walk or hunt. His companions bring stones so he can shape new spear points. Work gives Arn usefulness to distraction and a reason to endure. He teaches a child how to strike flakes safely. The injured hunter slowly becomes a teacher beside the fire. His value changes, but it does not disappear. That psychological shift may be as important as the splint. After several weeks, the pain becomes duller and less constant. Then comes a dangerous temptation, trying to stand too early. Arn grabs a wooden staff and pushes himself upright. His healthy leg trembles beneath his suddenly reduced strength. The injured foot touches earth and pain explodes again. He collapses safely into waiting arms, furious with himself. Recovery is not a straight path, it advances and retreats. Several more days pass before the next careful attempt. This time, 2 companions support his shoulders from both sides. Arn takes one uneven step, then another, then stops. The entire cave reacts as if a great hunt succeeded. Walking returns slowly, but the old speed does not. The leg heals slightly shortened and angled from its original line. Arn develops a limp that may follow him forever. Yet a limp is evidence of something extraordinary, survival. Months later, Arn can gather plants and set small traps. He no longer leads chases across dangerous stone ridges. Instead, he repairs tools and studies animal movement near camp. The accident reshapes his role, not simply his skeleton. Archaeologists sometimes find ancient bones that healed after severe trauma. Those bones are survival, although not every detail of treatment. Some injured prehistoric people lived for years with serious impairments. That survival strongly suggests support and shared resources. Even more remarkably, a survived limb amputation. That operation occurred about 31,000 years ago. The individual lived several more years after the procedure. But Arn's exact splint, healer, and recovery remain informed reconstruction. Science must separate what bones reveal from what stories imagine. A broken leg 20,000 years ago was a social emergency. Your body needed time, but time had to be donated. Food, warmth, protection, and patience became prehistoric medicine. The greatest treatment may have been refusing to leave someone behind. Because before hospitals existed, survival sometimes began with loyalty.
20,000 years ago, one bad tooth could turn dinner into a fight for survival. There was no dentist, no anesthesia, no pharmacia, and absolutely no emergency room. But the worst part was not the pain. It was what might happen next. Imagine you are eating beside a fire during the coldest stretch of the Ice Age. Your name is Aaron, and your group has not eaten properly for 2 days. Tonight, someone has brought back a strip of frozen reindeer meat. It is smoky, tough, grittier, and to you it smells like a feast. You bite down with your back teeth and hear a tiny, sickening crack. For half a heartbeat, nothing happens. Then white pain fills your entire skull. You drop the meat. Everyone looks at you. Something inside your tooth has broken. The pain fades quickly enough that you convince yourself it is over. You chew on the other side, slower now, pretending that nothing happened. Then warm fat touches the cracked tooth euros, and the lightning returns. You do not know the word nerve, but your body understands the warning. Something that should have remained sealed is now exposed to the outside world. You might imagine Ice Age humans had perfect teeth because they ate no candy. In some ways, their diet did protect them from the cavities common today. But no candy did not mean no dental problems, not even close. Every meal could contain sand, ash, fragments of stone, or powdered bone. Stone-ground plants could wear teeth down, like weak sandpaper, bite after bite. People also used their mouths as tools for gripping hides, fibers, and sinew. Over years, enamel could flatten, crack, and expose the softer dentine below. Aaron's tooth may already have been weakened by thousands of brutally abrasive meals, or decay may have begun inside a groove where food repeatedly became trapped. Bacteria consumed carbohydrates and produced acids that slowly dissolved the tooth. Hunter-gatherers could develop severe decay, especially when eating carbohydrate-rich wild plants. At Tafarot in Morocco, ancient foragers suffered surprisingly high levels of cavities. Their plant-rich diet probably gave oral bacteria plenty of fermentable material. So Aaron's pain is not impossible. It is an ancient human problem, and tonight, the protective fortress around his tooth has finally been breached. At first, the tooth only hurts when something hot, cold, or hard touches it. That sounds manageable, but the crack is now collecting microscopic pieces of food. Saliva carries bacteria deep into spaces your tongue cannot possibly clean. Aaron pushes the tooth with his finger, immediately regretting the experiment. He rinses with water, but the cold sends another shock through his face. He tries chewing a soft piece of marrow on the healthy side. This works euros until his upper and lower teeth accidentally meet. As darkness falls, the pain changes from sharp flashes to a steady pulse. His heartbeat seems to have moved into his jaw. Thump, thump, thump. Lying down increases pressure around the inflamed tissue, making sleep almost impossible. He sits up. He walks. He presses snow against the outside of his cheek. The cold briefly dulls the sensation, but it does not repair the tooth. By dawn, Aaron has slept only in fragments of a few minutes each. He is irritable, slow, and already less useful to the people around him. In the Ice Age, losing concentration was not merely inconvenient. It was dangerous. The group must move before the weather traps them in the valley. Everyone carries food, hides, tools, fuel, or a child. Aaron carries pain. Each footstep sends a dull vibration through the inflamed tooth. He cannot chew dried meat, one of the group's most portable foods. He swallows softened pieces, but eating takes longer and gives him less energy. Hunger makes him weak. Pain makes him distracted. Sleeplessness makes both worse. During a hunt, he reacts a moment too late to a charging animal. Another hunter pulls him aside, just before a horn crosses his body. Now the tooth is no longer Aaron's private problem. It threatens the group. Yet, abandoning him would cost them knowledge, labor, and a trusted companion. Prehistoric survival depended on cooperation far more than solitary toughness. People cared for injured companions who could not immediately repay that care. Aaron's sister, Nara, decides they must examine the tooth properly. She waits for daylight, washes her hands, and chooses a thin wooden splinter. It is not dentistry as we know it, but it is observation, memory, and courage. Aaron sits with his back against a rock while two companions hold the light. Nara asks him to point to the pain, but he indicates his entire jaw. Tooth pain can radiate, making the true source surprisingly difficult to identify. She taps each tooth gently, watching his eyes and shoulders for a reaction. One touch makes his body jerk. They have found the enemy. The tooth is cracked, dark inside, and surrounded by angry red gum tissue. Something is stuck in it euros, perhaps meat, plant fiber, or a fragment of bone. Nara first uses the wooden sliver like a toothpick around the tooth. Humans had probably used simple picks for cleaning for an immense time. Ancient, sometimes for an immense time. Ancient teeth sometimes preserve grooves consistent with repeated toothpicking behavior. The splinter removes trapped fibers, and for one beautiful moment, pressure decreases. He smiles cautiously. Perhaps this tiny piece of wood has saved him. Then Nara touches the deeper cavity. Aaron nearly knocks her backward. The problem is not merely food between teeth. The tooth itself is diseased, and if the living tissue inside dies, the danger may travel beyond it. Over the next 2 days, bacteria push farther into Aaron's damaged tooth. His immune system attacks, creating inflammation inside a space that cannot expand. Pressure builds around nerves and blood vessels trapped within hard walls. That is why dental pain can become so intense it overwhelms every thought. Suddenly, the tooth stops responding to cold. Arn thinks he is recovering, but the silence may mean the pulp has died euro, not that the infection has vanished. Beneath the root, bacteria and immune cells begin producing a pocket of pus. The pressure returns, deeper now, especially whenever Aaron bites down. His gum swells, his breath changes. A bitter taste appears in his mouth. By evening, one side of his face is visibly larger than the other. This is the moment when a toothache becomes a potentially lethal infection. Without antibiotics, his body must contain the bacteria almost entirely by itself. If the infection stays localized and drains, he may survive. If it spreads into deeper spaces of the face and neck, breathing may become difficult. And if bacteria reach the bloodstream, the entire body can begin to fail. The group has no germ theory, yet generations of experience still matter. They know that swelling, heat, weakness, and foul-smelling wounds predict danger. They may try cool water, plant material, pressure, or smoke for temporary relief. Some plants could reduce pain or inflammation, but identifying them precisely is impossible. Other plants might do nothing at euro, or cause poisoning and make Aaron even sicker. So there was no universal magical ice age cure hidden in the forest. The most useful action may be physically releasing trapped pressure and removing decay. But attempting this means placing wood, bone, or sharp stone inside the mouth. A slip could cut his tongue, break the tooth, or push contamination deeper. Doing nothing is dangerous. Intervening is dangerous. They must choose. Nara remembers seeing a relative find relief after a swollen gum burst naturally. She concludes that the pressure inside Aaron's tooth must somehow be released. From fine stone flakes, she selects the narrowest, smoothest workable point. Archaeology shows later Paleolithic people really did manipulate cavities with stone tools. For Aaron, 20,000 years ago, this remains plausible euros, but not directly proven. Aaron understands only one thing. The pain cannot continue like this. He lies beside the fire with his head held between folded animal hides. One companion steadies his shoulders. Another gives him leather to grip. There is no injection to numb the nerve, and no sedative to erase fear. Nara cleans visible debris away and places the stone point inside the cavity. The first scrape sends pain through Aaron's jaw, ear, temple, and neck. His entire body tries to pull away, but the others keep him steady. Nara stops. If he moves suddenly, the tool could tear soft tissue. Arn breathes, grips the leather, and signals for her to continue. She scrapes again, using tiny controlled movements, rather than forceful stabbing. Dark, softened material emerges from the cavity, mixed with blood and saliva. Then the tool reaches a deeper pocket euro, and foul fluid suddenly escapes. The taste is disgusting. The smell makes everyone recoil, but pressure falls. Aaron is still in pain, yet the unbearable internal pounding has weakened. In this brutal moment, the difference between torture and relief is a stone splinter. The operation is over, but Aaron is nowhere near safe. The cavity is open. The tissue is damaged, and bacteria remain throughout the area. Nara keeps clearing material that collects near the opening, allowing continued drainage. Aaron drinks water and eats softened marrow, broth, and mashed plant food. Every calorie matters because fever forces his body to burn precious energy. That night he shivers under hides, even though his skin feels painfully hot. For hours, the group cannot know whether he will wake in the morning. His sister watches his breathing and repeatedly feels the swelling beneath his jaw. If it moves toward his neck, there may be almost nothing she can do. Near dawn, Aaron wakes soaked in sweat euros and asks weakly for water. His fever has not vanished, but the swelling is no longer growing. During the next day, more fluid drains and the pounding continues to fade. His immune system, age, the drainage, and simple luck may have saved his life. Another person with the same tooth might have weakened, suffocated, or died. Prehistoric medicine often ended not with certainty, but with a dangerous waiting game. After several days, Aaron stands again, though his face remains tender and bruised. The damaged tooth may remain open, fracture further, or eventually loosen and fall out. If it falls out cleanly, the pain may disappear euroed, but chewing becomes less efficient. Other teeth must absorb more force, increasing their own wear over many years. Aaron will avoid that side of his mouth long after the wound has healed. The experience also becomes knowledge that his group can carry into the future. Which tools were safest? Where did swelling form? What happened after drainage? Nothing is written down. Knowledge survives through demonstration, memory, and story. Thousands of years later, humans would drill teeth and even experiment with fillings. A 6,500-year-old tooth from Slovenia still preserves what appears to be beeswax. But Aaron lived long before fillings, clinics, antibiotics, or written medical instructions. His best technology was a sharp tool guided by another human being's careful hands. His best medicine was a group willing to feed, protect, and wait beside him. 20,000 years ago, a toothache could become a battle against pain, hunger, and infection. And sometimes, the reason you survived was simply that someone refused to leave you behind.